Ma'am, a very close friend of mine is in a toxic relationship and she's not doing anything about it. Or my best friend has a very toxic girlfriend and I don't know why he's still around with her and I'm not able to do anything about it. Very commonly asked question. If you are also somebody in a toxic relationship, then this video is for you. I'm Riri Trivedi. I'm a regression therapist, a trainer and a parenting coach. And today I'm going to be talking about why people stay stuck in toxic relationships and what can be done about it. Well, the first reason that a person attracts a toxic relationship and stays in it is because of extremely poor self-esteem or low self-worth. Especially those who have grown up throughout their childhood being emotionally neglected or abused by their parents, who have grown up constantly being told that you are not good enough, you cannot do anything right, you're not worthy of love. They have been neglected emotionally by their parents or caretakers, or they have been constantly humiliated, shamed, abused. Then they grow up in toxic shame, which makes them believe that they are worthless, useless, and they do not deserve anything better in life. And hence, the very first person who gives them that love and attention starts becoming their center of attention. And this is why, even if that person has a toxic behavior, is violent or abusive, still this person will continue to be with that person because the thought of leaving that person or thought of losing that person is extremely scary. Such people with a very low self-esteem and self-worth tend to feel extremely insecure, and because of their insecurity they cling on to toxic relationships even though they logically know that it is harmful and it is damaging them. The second reason is, of course, if a child has grown up seeing his or her own parents who have spent a lifetime in toxic relationship, then it becomes normal for them. They do not even see the toxicity of the relationship. If they have grown up seeing their parents fight with each other, humiliate and shame each other, abuse each other, gaslight each other, then this becomes very normal behavior. And as adults, then they will continue that behavior with their own partners and spouses, or they will continue to tolerate such behavior from their partners and spouses because that is the normal. Which brings me to the third point, that our brain is used to seeing comfort in whatever we are always used to experiencing. So even if there is a toxic, violent environment, but if you are grown up in that, that becomes a comfort zone, that becomes a normal for you. And whatever is not that or opposite of that becomes a source of fear or discomfort. So many people continue to be in abusive, toxic relationships because that is their comfort zone. And the thought of not being in that relationship or stepping out or not being abused every day is a source of discomfort and fear. They are very scared that how will I be if I am not in this space. So the whole fear of change can also discourage people from stopping or from stepping out of their abusive relationships. Of course, a very important reason is also societal pressure, lack of family support, or financial dependency. Many people continue to be in abusive marriages and relationships because of financial difficulties, or because they have a common family business, or they do not have any supporting family who supports them to leave the relationship. So they are discouraged from getting a divorce, or they are even discouraged from living separately. So of course, cultural elements also have a role to play. Last but not the least is a much deeper reason, is when people get a secondary gain from being in an abusive or a toxic relationship. By this I mean that when this person is in a toxic relationship and the friends and the relatives start treating this person like a victim. Oh, poor you. Oh, you are putting up with such a bad husband or a wife. Oh, you're tolerating so much. Only you can tolerate. None of us would be able to tolerate this. These kind of comments makes the person take pride in their victimhood. So these people get the attention, they get sympathy, they get love, they get a lot of validation for an appreciation for being in this abusive relationship and for tolerating this abusive person. And this validation, appreciation and sympathy is the reason why they do not want to bring an end to this toxic relationship. So secondary gain, which runs very deep, can also be one of the reasons why people will make all sorts of excuses but continue to tolerate a toxic relationship, be it a husband or a partner or even a friend. So these are all the different reasons why people continue to be in toxic relationships, and however hard you try to convince them they will not be able to come out of it unless and until they become aware of what are their reasons for being in the relationship and they work towards it. So if they have a low self-esteem, they have to work on their self-confidence, they have to work on self-love, they have to work on appreciating themselves and thinking that they are good enough and they do not deserve this toxic partner. If they need to work on financial dependency or cultural issues, then they have to build on their confidence and power and courage to stand up against the cultural norms, to stand up for themselves or to become financially independent. Secondary gains are very, very hard to decode, and most people do not even accept that they are having secondary gains from being in a toxic relationship. But if you are a friend of such a person, then do share this video with them. Who knows, it might give them something to think about, because awareness is the first step. Only the person who is in the toxic relationship is the person who can come out of it. By anybody else's advising or coaching them or guiding them is not going to work. So they have to become aware and they have to take a stand for themselves. So if you know of somebody like that, please share this video with them and let me know in the comment section if you found this video useful. If you are in a toxic relationship, please give it a thought on what are your reasons for continuing to tolerate this relationship. Yes, sometimes the hope that this person will change also makes people continue to tolerate abuse and violence, because all of us believe that our love is going to change the person. Our empathy, compassion and love will change the abuser and the toxic person to become a good person. Well, that is far from the truth. Unless and until that person doesn't believe so, that person is never going to change. Let me know how you found the video and do share it with the people who need to listen to this.